Hello and welcome to a new War Thunder tutorial. I'm Silent Saberf. I hope you will enjoy this tutorial. This tutorial should be something you have to know before you go into full real battles. So this is all about how to take off and how to land with simulator controls with a joystick or mouse's joystick. And in this tutorial I will show you how to use the mouse to take off and land in full real battles. And you can train this by just going to your research tree, choosing a nice aircraft and go to test flight and just set simulator as difficulty setting for the test flight and set a fuel amount of 30 or 45 minutes because this is what you are going to use in full real battles. Just click OK and starting the test flight now. I switched my controls to mouse and default controls, so this is what I think you have. So as you can see, it looks a little bit different than in arcade and historical. You have this, only a small dot you can move around, and this dot actually controls your stick movements and your rudder. So if I move the dot up, I push the stick towards the nose of the aircraft. This will make my nose go down, and if I move it down, I pull on the stick and my elevator goes up. As you can see, elevator up, and my nose goes up as well, and elevator down. Okay, left and right, you control the ailerons, those things. Right aileron up, left aileron down, left aileron up and right aileron down, and your rudder as well. The pedals, this is this on the tail. You use this to steer on the runway. Of course you can use Q and E if you are on shooter controls as well. And as you can see, your engine is not running if you start full real battles, so you have to start it manually by pressing I on your keyboard. Just press I and your engine will start. You don't have to set any mixture, pitch controls. This is automatically. You can set it to manually, but yes, as a beginner it's just too much and it's not very helpful. Okay, engine is running. Make sure that your throttle is on 0 or brake if you start the engine, otherwise you will just start rolling. And to take off, I have to set my flaps to take off first, so just press F to toggle your flaps. Flaps goes down a little bit to create more lift for taking off, and increase throttle. Before you increase throttle, you have to make sure that your point is in the middle, because if you increase throttle, the turning of the propeller will create a force which pulls you to the left or the right, depends on which direction the prop is running. On the 109, prop is running clockwise, so it will pull you to the left. And so I have to add a little bit rudder to the right, or just move the dot a little bit to the right. I will have it in the middle so you can see the movement, and just throttle up to 40 or 50%. As you can see, I'm turning right, so I'm using my rudder to counter steer a little bit with E, and my nose goes down, so I use the point to go a little bit down. Okay, increasing speed now, full speed. And at around 180 or 200, just pull a little bit, only a little bit, and you're in the air. Press G again to put your gear up, and F to raise your flaps, and you're airborne. Okay, as you can see, point to the left, rolling right, left, point to the right, rolling right, and pull it. Moving the point down moves your stick towards you and you're pulling, so you can just roll a little bit left, pull, and you fly a turn, make a turn. Okay, rolling on, stable. Okay, I will just try to land again. So I'm throttling down a little bit, make sure you have visual contact with the runway. Just remember which direction the runway is, and yeah, throttle a little bit down. You need a distance towards the runway so you don't come in too fast. That's okay. Starting my turn. You can use combat flaps to turn, yeah, sharper, make sharper turns. Okay, decreasing throttle. It's good to fly around 200 kilometers per hour to get in. Yeah, you can make some little turns to get slower, or use your rudder like this to get slower. And now I'm slow. I'm getting my gear down with G and my flaps to landing position, lining up with the runway, putting my nose a little bit above the runway. As you can see, I'm too slow. Don't get below 160. 160 is the speed you want to land. So I'm increasing throttle, point my nose towards the runway, decreasing throttle again because I'm getting too fast. And yeah, move the stick towards you, so go down with the mouse, and I'm getting in, and touchdown. Brake. Stop braking if you think that your nose comes up, goes down. So just stop it right now. Otherwise you will do the nose stand. And move the point towards you, so pull on the stick, or yeah, land it. Okay, raise my flaps again to take off. And you can just practice this in test flight a few times before you go into full real battles. Just take off, land, etc. Okay. To make it easier on some planes like the Spitfire or the P-40, you can add, because they tend to do a nose stand, you can either just pull a little bit on the stick when throttling up, or you can trim your aircraft. And you have to assign some keys first. Go into controls, full aircraft controls, and to full aerodynamics you can see elevator trim axis, aileron trim axis, rudder trim axis. I'm just using my up and down keys on the keyboard right now to demonstrate the elevator trim. Use relative control and set a key for increasing and decreasing, and yes, a little bit less sensitivity, a little bit less multiplier, and 1% steps. This should be good. Okay, resume. And now I can use my up and down to trim my elevator, and this will just, if I go to the middle with the point, yeah, add a little bit movement on the stick, so it pulls a little bit on the stick for you. If you want to take off, you have to use a little bit, can use a little bit positive elevator trim to prevent doing a nose over. Just use 5 or 7%. Now I can just throttle up using my E on the keyboard. Just tip it. Don't hold it. Don't hold the key to counter the movement. And pulling up if I'm fast enough, and I'm in the air again. Gear up, flaps raised, and I'm in the air finally. And now I'm resetting my trim. So for example, if you don't want to countersteer every time because your nose goes up or down, you can use trim. So for example, now I can use a little bit positive elevator trim, like this, to prevent my nose from going down and up. Or you can just use your dot if you're flying mouse joystick. Okay. Just roll. And if you move the mouse to the bottom, you pull up. So don't forget, don't do mouse up, and yeah, don't do a nose stand on the runway. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. And see you in full real battles maybe, without crashing on the runway.